my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Now you might find me home earlier than normal when I visit my mum, because I went to visit my mum Jennifer at Dowell Gardens this morning and a taxi arrived about 11:30ish or 11:15 I think. Alexa, what's the time please?
It's 2:55 p.m.
So a taxi arrived about 11:15 and he parked on the corner of, I don't know the name of the road, I can see with my glasses on, I think. The taxi parked on Belvedere Road. The taxi parked on Belvedere Road on the corner and it was actually obstructing traffic. He was obstructing traffic, so he beeped his horn. The taxi driver beeped his horn. He had to move out of the way. A car was waiting behind him in Belvedere Road. He beeped his horn quite loudly. I saw the taxi from the window and I went down in the lift and went into the taxi. He'd gone up to another block of flats. By that time he's gone up to another block of flats. So I walked up the road, got into the taxi. It was a taxi driver I recognised. He looked like an old 60s pop singer. He had a haircut. He was the one that wears sunglasses when he's driving. So he was talking to me like he's a London accent. And he remembered me from talking about the guy upstairs and the noise. He remembered me. So we chatted all the way up to Dowell Gardens. There'd been an accident in Chatham earlier on in the morning, and fortunately I'd missed it. It was rather a nasty accident apparently. There was police and ambulance everywhere. But I missed that. The taxi drove on up Luton Road and into Dowell Gardens, but he had mistakenly made a wrong turn and had to turn around quickly and rectify his error, his driving error, and he got up to Dowell Gardens and my mum had the door firmly shut. Jennifer did not come out, my mum. So I paid the taxi driver £10, it came to £9 exactly. I gave him a £10 note and he gave me 2 50p in the change. I went into my mum's residence, sat down, and mum had sweets on the table, crisps, cheddar biscuits, drinks. So I sat down and I gave my mum a bag of washing. I did offer to put it in the washing machine. I gave my mum Jennifer a bag of washing and she put it into the washing machine and started the machine and started the washing off. I then picked up the Fire Stick, the Amazon Fire Stick, and I put on a film, an old black and white film with Cary Grant in, about a newspaper. A divorced man with his wife. He didn't want his wife to go with anybody else. He was trying to stop it. It was an old Cary Grant film. I can't remember what it was called, but I was watching that. I put that on the Amazon Fire Stick. My dad has still got accounts on there. Albert Howlett, Dick Thrower. So I don't know whether I just put on the Amazon Fire Stick and I watched a black and white film. My mum was sat down there and she wasn't speaking. It was all dark in there, the doors were shut, and it was quite depressing. She was sat like that, Jennifer was. Then my son rang me up and asked me to meet him for a coffee. He didn't persist. He just asked if I would like a coffee. I really don't see my son very much now, so I said okay. And I arranged to meet my son just after 1 o'clock at Costa Coffee in Rochester Riverside. My mum lived in Chatham. My mum really hadn't been talking very much to me anyway, and she's been spending like an hour sat like this. So I thought she wasn't well anyway and wanted some rest. So I arranged to meet my son. My mum did the washing for me, folded it, put it in a bag, gave me the usual cat and dog food, and she got me a bag of cat litter. And she got me some meals. So I've got meals, I've got food, I've got cat litter, the cats and the dogs have got food. So I proceeded to wait for the second taxi, where the driver was sat in the taxi like this, like my mum had been sitting. So he had his head right back at the seat and was driving like that, with his head back like that. Big bloke, big stocky bloke. Got in the taxi. I had four heavy bags, including the cat litter and the dog. He didn't open the boot, so I put it all in the side of the seat, struggled in with the dog and put all the bags on the back seat. He drove slowly into Corey's Road, round the back of my flat, and he didn't help me out with the bags, but he got out of the taxi and watched me take the bags out, but he didn't help me with them. On the way in the road traffic, there was a van with HAG, HAG, written on it, HAG, plain as day, HAG, HAG. Sainsbury's lorry with OG number plate, OG, and I felt fucking awful. I'd been rushed out of my mum's. My mum was depressed. I could tell my mum was depressed. To get treated like that, HAG lorries and OG Sainsbury's lorries, and I struggled up to my flat, put all the bags inside, and I met my son at Costa Coffee, Rochester. We went sat down, and I had, I think it was a strawberries and cream iced latte with a straw in, and there was a man called Dave Cox advertising his plumbing business on his back. Dave Cox advertising his plumbing business. There was a dark-skinned woman with exactly the same top as mine, except the Puma was missing, the P-U-M-A. She didn't have that, she just had the Puma symbol and no writing. And I felt awful, because I'm happy with the way I look, I'm happy with the way I am, and people are still taking the piss out of me, which is not funny. When I was going down in the taxi with that London accent taxi driver, there was a van coming up after I'd seen the HAG vehicle and the old lorries and that. There was a man with a tooth like mine driving a van. So a man with the glasses with his front tooth sticking out, staring at me into the taxi as I was going up to Durrell Gardens, which, you know, he's driving a van, he's got a wonky tooth, so what makes him more prettier than me, to be honest? Right? I don't mind. Take the fucking piss out of me all you like. Laugh your fucking head off at my crooked front tooth, but you don't mind making money out of it, do you, and humiliating me, whoever's doing this. You don't mind that, do you? So, what can I say, guys? You know, get a life. Go and bother someone else who's interested, because I think that's childish and stupid and really, really nasty and evil. Right? And pay me what you owe me, right? Not happy this afternoon. Sorry, I'm not very happy at all. You can see when you're walking along the street with whoever you're with, your mum, your son, your daughter, and all the extras in the clothes that you're wearing, and the crooked teeth, and the matted hair, and whoever's doing this, grow up, please grow up. It's not nice to take the piss out of somebody's affliction, and I ain't that bad. See you later.